5. They said no nanny could survive a single day in the Lawrence mansion. Not one. Behind the towering iron gates of Alexander Lawrence's estate, marble floors gleamed like mirrors, chandeliers cast golden light across the halls, and fountains whispered in the sprawling gardens. It was the kind of home that looked perfect from the outside. But within those polished walls lived 3 hurricanes disguised as children: Marcus, Michael, and Maya, 7-year-old triplets with boundless energy and no patience. In less than half a year, 15 nannies had come and gone. Some stormed out in fury, some left in tears, and one even vowed never to walk with children again. The triplets screamed, howled toys, spilled food, and turned every corner of the mansion into a war zone. Their mother had died giving birth to them, and Alexander, though rich and powerful, had never found a way to quiet their storms. He provided everything money could buy except peace. Then came Grace Williams. Grace was 33, a widow with warm brown eyes that seemed to carry both sorrow and strength. She wasn't seeking luxury, she was seeking survival. Her teenage son, Emmanuel, lay in a hospital bed, battling a heart condition that required an expensive surgery. Grace needed work. She needed money. And she needed it fast. The housekeeper, a tired woman named Mrs. Wilkins, handed Grace a uniform with a sigh. Start in the playroom. You'll see for yourself. When Grace entered the playroom, she froze. Toys were scattered everywhere, dew stains streaked the wallpaper, and the triplets were bouncing on the sofa as if it were a trampoline. The moment they saw her, their mischief began. Marcus held a toy truck at her feet. Maya folded her arms and screeched, "We don't like you." Michael grinned and appended a box of cereal onto the rug. Most nannies would have shouted, pleaded, or fled. Grace did none of those things. She tied her scarf tighter, sank to her knees, and quietly began picking up toys. The triplets paused, thrown off by her calmness. "Hey! You're supposed to yell at us," Marcus snapped. Grace looked at him steadily. Children don't stop when someone yells. They stop when no one plays their game. Then she returned to cleaning. From the balcony above, Alexander Lawrence stood with folded arms, watching. He had seen nannies break in that very room. But something about Grace, her silence, her patience, made him lean forward. The triplets prepared their next wave of chaos, but Grace spoke before they could act. "I'm not here to fight you," she said gently. "I'm here to love you." For the first time, the triplets froze. The days that followed were not easy, but Grace's patience was unshakable. When the children screamed, she spoke softly. When they tested her limits, she remained steady. She began to see what no one else had noticed. The children weren't simply wild, they were grieving. They had lost their mother before they had even known her, and no one had helped them carry that weight. Grace began small. She cooked meals with them in the kitchen, letting them stir batter or roll dough. She read bedtime stories and let Maya braid her hair. She taught Marcus to fold paper planes and Michael to plant seeds in the garden. Slowly, laughter replaced screaming. Slowly, the children began to trust her. One night, Alexander found them all asleep on the couch, Grace with Maya curled against her, Marcus holding a paper plane, Michael's head resting on her lap. For the first time in years, the house was quiet. Peaceful. 3 months passed. Emmanuel's surgery date approached, and Grace's heart grew heavy. She had saved nearly enough, but not quite. She didn't dare ask Alexander for help, he was her employer, nothing more. But Alexander had noticed her sacrifices. He had seen her skip meals, wear the same pair of worn shoes, and send every paycheck straight to the hospital. One evening, he called her into his study. "Grace," he said, his voice steady but softer than usual, "you've done more for my children than anyone ever has. You gave them love when no one else could. Let me do the same for you." He handed her an envelope. Inside was a check large enough to cover Emmanuel's surgery and more. Tears filled Grace's eyes. I don't know what to say. Just say you'll stay, Alexander replied. His gaze lingered, gentle yet certain. My children need you. And he hesitated only a moment before confessing, so do I. The surgery was a success. Emmanuel recovered, stronger than ever, and soon he joined his mother in the mansion, where Marcus, Michael, and Maya welcomed him like a brother. Grace had come into the Lawrence home as a nanny. But as months turned into years, she became far more. She became the heart of the house, the light in the children's eyes, and the woman Alexander found himself unable to imagine life without. One spring morning, beneath the blossoming cherry trees in the garden, Alexander knelt before her. Grace, he whispered, holding out a ring, you walked into this house and mended every broken piece of it. Will you let me spend the rest of my life proving how much you mean to us? To me. Grace's answer came with tears and a trembling smile. Yes, Alexander. 1,000 times, yes. As petals drifted around them, Alexander kissed her gently, his first kiss with the woman who had not only saved his children but had also saved him. The mansion that once echoed with chaos now rang with laughter, love, and the sound of children playing together. They had said no nanny could last a single day. But Grace didn't just last, she transformed the house of storms into a home of love. And in Alexander's arms, beneath the cherry blossoms, she finally found her own happy ending. And that brings us to the end of our story. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell. Thank you for watching.